Hi, Suzanne. Um,
Hello.
Thanks for coming in. And we worked before together on different food item, and we work on a different food item today. Do you want to share about what you felt after the session we had already?
Yeah, so that was just a few weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks, I guess. And grilled cheese is something my whole life I've like, will make if I want a snack. And but I like it so much. Quite often I'll make a second one, even though one is quite enough. And it's something that it's not a food that really I want to be eating on a regular basis. So I chose grilled cheese, and because going very specific with that with something. And yeah, so afterwards, I just I have lots of opportunity where I'm home by myself. I just didn't even think about having grilled cheese really. And then one day I was like, oh, maybe I'll have grilled cheese. And I kind of was like, no. And then a few days ago, I was like, you know what? I can have grilled cheese if I want. And I like, because I'm a bit of a rebel, all right, I would say sometimes. And I was like, I can have grilled cheese, like I know I and I really was like, I could, but I was like, but I don't want to. like as much as my rebel came up and was like, I could do what I want, I was like, but I don't really feel like having it. And I just forgot about it, right? Like I like it, and it's just isn't coming up as something that I want to eat. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's amazing.
amazing.
Hmm.
Thanks. So let's work on a new food item today and delete it from your menu. What
Right.
are we doing?
Well, it's a bread. So I have this bread is always in my house because my husband makes sandwiches. So it's like sort of a whole grains or whole wheat bread. I don't know if you need the specific brand or it doesn't matter.
You know.
Um, but it's always sort of this is the type of bread we buy. We always here. And what I find is it's the thing, I haven't really prepped. I'd love to be more that I prep breakfast or I prep lunch, but quite often I don't. It's so easy to grab a piece of bread and some peanut butter or something like that. And it's not something that I actually would like in that is the thing that I go to. So I would love to delete this bread so that it can be here for my husband's sandwiches, but doesn't bother me. It's not something I go for. Yeah,
Exactly.
that would
And
be
you forget
wonderful.
about it.
Yeah, I just kind of like, oh yeah, it's not sort of the thing that I choose to go for, right? So which is
Yeah.
always, I mean, I'm like, oh yeah, no, not really bread. I'll make this, but then I never do. I just gravitate to the bread all the
Yeah.
time. So yeah,
So let's do it. And just to explain the process, although you know it, but maybe someone
yeah,
who watches it doesn't. So
yes,
I will connect with you energetically. I will become your proxy. And then, with your permission, of course. And then I will start testing with my muscle testing to see what emotion is now blocking you, what old negative emotion is blocking you, and creating this craving, wanting, wishing, smelling, and eating this type of bread. Delete that and check again. And then I'll ask you to think about eating this bread. Very
okay,
simple, very
all right,
straightforward.
sure,
So I'll take a moment just to connect with you.
hmm
You don't need to do anything. If something is resonating with you, that's good. If nothing is resonating with you, it's equally good. And if you have any questions, just feel free to ask. Just one more thing I want to add that once I identify this emotion and I have like a chart of 60 emotions and more of emotions here, so once I found the emotion or emotions, the old negative emotion that wasn't processed properly and creating this feeling towards the bread, I will take my magnet and I go over my governing meridian a few times to amplify it and release the energy.
right,
Sounds good?
all right, sounds good.
So let's start. I'll start by connecting with you. I'm connecting with Susan. I'm Susan. I'm Susan. I'm Miri. I'm Susan. I'm Susan. Susan. Yeah, him. Okay. So going back to 100 times I had this bread. Are there at all 100 times I had this bread? Yes. Is 100 time a good enough sample? Yes. Um, did I eat more than 100 times? Yeah, but 100 time is a good sample. Yeah. So going back to those 100 times that I ate it or crave it or wanted or bought it or smelled it, and then ate and ate when I didn't want to eat or sometimes when I did want to eat, how many trapped emotions or trauma energies are causing me this craving and wanting and smelling and um, buying and eating this bread? More than five, five, four, three, two, one. Is it on the blue? No, it's on the trauma energy chart, just a different chart that I have. Is it on A, B, one, two, three, four, one, two? It's sadness. So we want to know if it's my sadness, me being you. Is it mine? Yes. Do I need to know more about it? No. So we'll go ahead and release this sadness. This sadness that is causing me to eat and crave and buy and think and want and smell and then want and eat this bread, just releasing this sadness, releasing this sadness, releasing sadness. Was it released? Yes. Now I want to release also obsession. Obsession sometimes is causing us to all the things before we eat it, like the craving and the wanting and the smelling and the buying. So I'll go ahead and release obsession. Releasing obsession that is causing us to crave and want and buy and think and pay for it and smell it and then want it and maybe think about, oh, what do I have in my fridge that I want to eat? And then I go to this bread, releasing obsession. And I'll go ahead and release fanatic. Fanatic is usually causing us to actually eat it. So I'll go ahead and release fanatic that is causing me to eat and eat and eat again. This bread, this specific bread that you showed me, releasing fanatic. And I release also shock. Shock is like, I don't know what I want, but oh, I want this bread. Releasing shock. Releasing shock. And last, I want to release also low self-esteem. So you notice the difference. You can esteem yourself and say, do I want it or don't I want it? Do I want to get it or it's not for me? And just notice and know the differences, the positive changes that is happening, releasing low self-esteem. Releasing low self-esteem. Did I really solve it? Yeah. So now I'll go back to those 100 times that I had this bread or wanted or craved or smelled and or thought about it and paid for it and ate it. Are there any other trapped emotion, trauma energies I need to release now? Yes. How many more than three? Three, two, one, one. Is it on the blue? Yes. Is it on A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 1, 2. It's creative insecurity. Creative insecurity is an interesting one because at some point you were creative or you thought you are creative or you did something that was creative and someone told you, this is not good enough. Maybe you made a sandwich and you thought, oh, this is amazing sandwich, and someone told you, no, this sandwich is not good enough. And it's blocking you from creating and developing something that is good for you, that is creative. So I'll go ahead and release creative insecurity. Releasing creative insecurity that creates the craving and smelling and buying and thinking and eating, releasing creative insecurity. Was releasing. Going back again just to check my work. Is there anything else that I need to release now? No. Um, so is it okay for me not to eat this bread? Yeah. Is it safe for me not to eat this bread? Yes. Am I worthy of not eating this bread? Yes. Do I believe I can stop eating this bread? Yes. Is there anything else I need to do? No. Am I done? Yes. So then just take a moment and you have the bread in front of you. So
I
think
do.
about this bread and just imagine yourself eating and just notice what is different.
Yeah, it's okay, so I was beforehand, I was thinking about the bread because I thought, oh, I should get a baseline for how I feel about it. And I could kind of imagine putting the spread on it and things and the texture and the how it sounds almost even. And
Yeah,
uh and after I was like, okay, so I just had that, right? Um and I'm looking at it, I'm like, there's some bread, but it's not like I'm almost trying to trigger that. Okay, now you're putting butter on it. I'm like, yeah, yeah. It's not. Yeah, just not having that same pull. Yeah,
yeah, wonderful. So take the next few days and just see how you notice the
yeah,
changes and just feel the changes and your um, intensity of desire to want and buy. Well, you have it in your home, but the next time
right.
you go to the supermarket or Costco and buy or want to buy, and then think about the butter and how it feels to just take a bite and chew it and just notice what is different.
Sure.
I'll be
Yeah,
happy to hear from you.
yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's
Thank
exciting.
you so much. Yeah.
Ah.